Boom.
Biddly, 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 but yes, yo, here we go. There ain't nobody down round here. Nobody do it how he does it. You know what time it is. Get that badger in and on and over here. He's in, he's on, he's over, he's here. We've had a couple of comments about when I move, we get a glaze. So I'm going to try and keep my head as straight as physically possible. I could turn that off and then it wouldn't happen, but I didn't think to do that until this moment, and nobody wants me turning round back. Don't know if anybody's been here since Blind Gate, where you used to have to turn around and turn blinds off. Not off, you can't turn a blind off. You can turn a blind eye, but you can't turn a blind off. And I used to have to close the blinds. Plenty to talk about here, to be fair. Quick shit vid. Farke's tactics have been questioned now. I went on Just George yesterday and made a claim that I want to reiterate and try and get my point across as best as possible. I think that we should be able to close the game out 3-1 up in cruise control, whether Farke has left and gone on holiday 70 minutes in. I don't care if he's made a substitution or not. That being said, I think Farke needs to make some substitutions earlier on. It is a criticism that I'm on board with. I'd rather he give one player 30 minutes and then make another change at 70 minutes when we see where we're at. You might get 60 minutes and then bring a player on, makes an impact. It doesn't change the team, doesn't change the squad, doesn't change the movements of players too much. We're not moving everybody around. It's just like for like substitutions, see what happens. Then we go 3-1 up, say, for instance. Then you make a change or whatever. I know he didn't, but you have to be able to see that game out against 22nd in the league. They are dog shit. We have to be able to see that game out. Whether I don't care whether everybody's on the last legs. They was particularly leggy, particularly at back when keeper were making mistakes. Peru with a great goal. So my point is, I don't mind you questioning Farke, but the responsibility lays with the players, and when the mistakes come reeling in, it's just not good enough. They're professional footballers. They have to be able to see that game out. It's 15-20 minutes of football, against a pretty poor side. And when we were playing so well, there's an argument to say, well, don't change out. There's been plenty of managers that never make substitutions. I think even back in day, O'Leary were never keen on making substitutions. We did quite well with him to a point. And then obviously the world collapsed. But the one thing that really frustrated me, which dawned on me yesterday, was Tanaka'S opportunity there. I was on my live watch along. I was calling for right, get to half time. Let's get out. Let's separate the men from the boys. Let's go take the game to them. Go beat them comfortably in the second half. We only need 45 minutes to beat these. We're 1-0 down, obviously. And Tanaka comes out, pulls a worldie out of bag. And that is what you're looking for. We never get these goals from these centre midfielders. Everybody's banging on that nobody ever really shoots and all this stuff, which I don't actually agree with. I just think a lot of the time when we shoot, it goes into row Z, and I'm actually on board with keeping the ball moving. But every now and again, you need to have a clip at it, don't you? Tanaka had the opportunity to grab the headlines. He'd done literally what I was begging for at half time. Come out, let's see who the big players are. Tanaka's been called a big player all season, and he proved it yesterday. It should have been his moment to go, right, 1-1, who's with me? Let's all go. We had, excuse me, I've got a bit of a snuffly nose. We had opportunity. I can only imagine how disgusting that sounded as well, but it wasn't actually as bad. It was more the flick of the finger that did that. It's just a sniffle. We had the opportunity for him to do his job. We go 3-1 up. They all came with him. It was right, we are in and on and over here. We are off for the win. We have won the game. I agree, perhaps with a little bit of complacency set in and a little bit of arrogance. A few people saying that Farke was arrogant not making a sub, sort of bringing a defender. He should have brought a defender on at 3-1. I understand that to some extent, like an arrogance where we can't lose from when we're in front. I just think these boys need to be able to see that game out. That's my thoughts. Felt sorry for Tanaka in a sense, because it should have been his day where he grabs the headline and it's like bosh, Tanaka pulls us out of it, and then Peru gets a brilliant goal. James gets a well-worked goal. James didn't have his best game, still picked a goal up. It's stuff like that. That was our opportunity. And unfortunately, we've got to move on now. So we move on to bullshit. According to the Daily Mail, Leeds could be open to selling Meslier Silent S in January, which will be music to everybody's ears, I've absolutely no doubt. Now, I want to move on from the Meslier stuff, Silent S, but I understand, it's difficult for us to do that. It's the hot topic at the moment. I feel a bit sorry for him in a sense. I can't help but want to defend him just on the basis that, he's a young lad. I like him. We went up with him. Everybody loved him when we went up, when he came in, sort of replaced Kiko for them last 10 games when Kiko had been on a racist rant. I think the criticism is sometimes over the top, and people read in between the lines too much, saying that Rodon hates him, and then that video's circulating that Rodon hates him and Rothwell hates him, and I think it's Peru's there, and it's like, apparently Meslier Silent was in tears after that, which proves, it's not a. This is a confidence thing, I think, with him. He still is only 24 years old, and this is not a defence of him. I think he helped throw the game away the other day, but I can't help but while he plays for Leeds and in general, I don't know what my point is there, to be fair. I've said enough over the past couple of days about Meslier Silent S. I hope everybody can, because I got a lot of stick actually in the video when I said, it's his fault. I don't actually care what the club do with him at this point. I think the club should just do what's best for them, for us, for everybody. I'd just pull him out of the fire pit. Get Darlow on. Obviously we've got Harrogate Town at weekend, which should be an easier game. We joked about this last night on Joe's show, but would you be better off putting Meslier Silent S in that game and then dropping him for the Championship game? Obviously not. You want Darlow to see. You want a decent performance out of Darlow against Harrogate. The problem is against Harrogate, probably not going to be asked to do a great deal, so we're not going to see a lot from Darlow. But I'm also of the opinion that it can't be much worse than Darlow. Than Mes Silent S has been. It's such a different role, isn't it? His shot, his goals against his shots, all this XG shite that comes out. His stats are horrifying. They're awful to see. But it is like, every shot is going in. It's like, which sounds ridiculous because he needs to save some shots, evidently. But if he's only facing 1 or 2 a game, which is the reality, it's not. The statistics are going to look terrible, aren't they? If he's getting 17 against him, I know you'll all make the joke saying, well, he'll concede 17, but he won't, will he? He'll be more tested. He'll be warmer, fresher. I don't know. He never gets an opportunity to get on a bit of a roll with it. Now that being said, that is what the top keepers do. They get asked to do one thing a game and they do it really well. We're also, also just want somebody to be able to do the bit like the basics for the second goal. Just tip it over the bar. Let's get on with it. I don't like it when keepers do that, but what I really don't like is when they palm it down in their own 6-yard box with nobody aware of what's going on. But anyway, I'm done with Meslier Silent S in terms of speaking about it. I will happily respond to people when I can. It's sometimes difficult when I'm getting abused for just sort of speaking my mind on a football player, which is not, I don't care, but, I might not be. I wasn't as active with them responses. It was harder for me to read. I have feelings, man. The supercomputer, all aboard the bullshit bus. The supercomputer has said that we have a 44.14% chance of winning the league, and I really think we are on for it. And that is after the whole game the other day, so 44.14% from a computer. Apparently, Gelhardt, silent all sorts, is keen on a move away in January. I want Gelhardt to go on and have a right good career. I have a little soft spot for the lad, for the little nipper. I don't really understand why, but I do. If he gets his move, I don't know, he's been out on loan, it's not really worked for him. I sometimes think loan deals are difficult because the manager's sort of like, you're either playing every game or the manager's like, well, you're not that good and you're off back. There's no scope for improvement really, and you sort of like just trying to prove yourself to like your old manager while you're with a new manager, and he knows you're just there to potentially go back to Leeds. If he gets a proper move, it might do him world of good. So whatever happens to Gelhardt, silent all sorts, yeah, good on him. So there's more bullshit bus. So all aboard the bullshit bus again if you got off. And Dictionary Corner is back in action. Mergim Bershmig. No. Mergim Bershimer. Mergim Bershimer. Now, the main problem with Mergim Bershimer, other than the fact I can't say his name, is Jesse Marsh apparently wanted him, which kicks out one hell of a stink no matter how blocked your nose is. He's 26 years old, plays for Hoffenheim, who are 15th in the Bundesliga, and for anybody that doesn't know, there's only 18 teams in the Bundesliga, so they're extremely near the relegation drop zone. He's 6'1.5", so he's a big boy. German, so he is. He's 26 years old. I don't know if I said that. He's got 2 caps for Germany. He played quite a bit for when he were younger in under 21s for Germany, but he's only played twice for him since. and he's not scored a goal in them two. But I don't know them. It could have played 10 minutes at the end of each game. I've no idea. He's rated at about €7 million. The most that's been paid for him was Hoffenheim for €14 million. He's got 1 goal and 1 assist this season in 11 games. So, Mergin Bersheimer, what you saying? As I say, Jesse Marsh wanted him. Whether that's true, whether Mergin Bersheimer is true that we're interested in Birmingham, then we might not be interested in the Birmingham fella. If it's true that Jesse Marsh was interested in the Birmingham fella, then that's even worse. So hopefully both things are a lie, or just the Jesse Marsh bit's a lie, but we hope that Birmingham's on his way in and he can get us 10 goals to end the season. Who knows? Ampadu on Instagram posted a photo of them all hugging. I don't know whether that's potentially in reference to this idea that they've all fallen out just because Meslier Silent S made a couple of mistakes at the weekend. I doubt they're falling out. They've got to get back into training. I don't want them falling out. Anybody that's like, they've had enough of it, they fucking love it, they're right, yeah, fucking give him it, make him feel that piece of dog shit he deserves to be, get him out of my club, and I hope my centre-back's saying get him out of the club. I hope my centre-back isn't saying get him out of the club. I hope my centre-back's like, you know, hoping another keeper's on his way in, but I'm hoping he's sensible enough to keep his mouth shut, put your arm around him just as a guy, just like when Rodon, when you make a mistake, big lad, I hope everybody gets round you and says, do you know what, man, you know, you've been mint for us over a certain period of time, or you haven't, whatever you think of Meslier Santos. I've somehow gone back into Meslier Santos. That's not what I wanted to do. Ampado on Instagram said, disappointed. We know it wasn't good enough from us this weekend. Thank you always for the support. Well, I'm going to reiterate that. We know it wasn't good enough from me for the weekend because I was slightly defensive of Meslier Silent S. I hope you just stay with me. Or what did he say? How did he finish it? But thank you for the support anyway. The haters, thank you. The lovers, thank you even more. I was going to say less, but I didn't want you to think I was joking. Let me know if you're a lover or a hater. Either which way, I'm all for it. I did get a message from a Sunderland fan, which I thought were quite funny, that just put, because I put, obviously the header was his Meslier Silent S. I didn't put Silent S, but I'm sure everybody read between the lines. His Meslier, the worst keeper in the league. And the Sunderland fan said, us at the Stadium of Light think he's awesome.
Boom.
JackCity, bitch. JackCity, bitch. Hey!
I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is. Don't wanna ever feel surprised. That's why I ask.